Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. I have to address a question that was asked. In fact, it was more of a please help me figure out what to do next. An individual with a Pro 100 from Canon using Precision Colors inks was complaining that in about 2 months of displaying a photo unprotected on his wall facing north, the north side of the house, that the prints are fading rapidly, and that he was using Pro Luster from Canon and it still was causing print fade. Now, again, remember, he was using Canon Pro Luster unprotected, not under glass. So I want to go ahead and still show you what has been happening here. This is my test that I put out on my west facing window 2 months ago. And this is, again, in 2 months, that's more exposure than you would receive in about a year of it sitting on your north facing wall. And I have to say that there is a change, but it's not a drastic change. And I hope you can see that. The bottom one is the one that has been exposed to the window. The top one is the one that has been kept totally in the dark. And I think I showed you this in an earlier release, and you saw that there was really not that much of a change. I'm going to send this when I finish to Precision Colors and let him evaluate it. And I have not seen a huge change in, say, color balance, meaning that one particular color, either magenta, yellow, or cyan, is fading quicker than the other, or the black is fading quicker than the other. It seems to be, if there's any change whatsoever, it's a very even change, and not something that I can say, oh, this is causing my print to turn sepia, for instance. That would happen if the cyan would fade faster than the rest of the colors. And so this is all I can say. I mean, this has been sitting on the window for 2 months now, and it has been receiving bright sunlight and all sorts of light. And I don't see a drastic change yet. I'm going to go ahead and check again the one that's attached to my refrigerator door, because most of the prints that I have pasted, little snapshots that I have pasted on that refrigerator door, will tend to fade a lot faster. Now, it seems that I have lost a little bit of the black DMAX. Okay. And again, that is unprotected window light for 2 whole months, getting blasted by sunlight from my west facing window. If I was to put a print such as this one's been sitting here for a long time. This is on very good paper. And so I believe that paper has a lot to do with your ink longevity, even using dye inks. Okay. And whether you use original OEM dye inks for the Pro 100, regardless of their claims, you will have fading if you are using a not so good RC type coated paper. Those tend to fade, and they have a lot of OBAs, which will then also deteriorate and change the balance or the look of your image. In other words, OBAs are there to give you a brighter white point, okay, higher white. And once that fades, the paper will revert itself back to non-OBA look. And this is no OBAs. You can see my blacks here are incredibly dense still. And this has been sitting out here unprotected. I should have this under a glass frame, and that will last for years and years to come. Okay. And again, you're not going to put this outside on the top of your car. That's ridiculous. That'll fade your car as well. Your car has faded in the last 5 years, believe it or not. So again, let's be reasonable here. If you are going to expect a print to not fade, then you have to protect it, and you have to put it under glass or keep them in a box, inside a paper box. Now here are 2 other strips that I have had just laying around here in my room. So we'll take away the one on the window, and we'll compare one of these Make sure I got the correct orientation here. All right, here we go. So the ones that have been sitting in my room, absolutely no change at all that I can detect visually. Absolutely no change at all. This is the one that's been sitting in my room. This is the one that's been kept in total darkness. Again, no change. Here's another one. And I have them situated in different areas just to kind of cover the total conditions of my room here. And again, I got a south-facing window, and I got a a north-facing window right in front of me, and a west-facing window. And again, no change. Now let's compare that to the one that has been blasted by the sun. And yeah, it looks a little bit warmer. That amount of sunlight blasting this sample print has only caused this minuscule amount of change. That is like years under glass inside your house on a normal wall receiving normal room illumination. So I'm pretty satisfied with this, and I don't know what happened or what the conditions were for that gentleman that was complaining about the rapid print fade. Again, I really don't know, and we would just get into a huge argument if I started to ask more and more and more questions, because people get very defensive and they don't approach their prints fade as possibly being their own environmental conditions or faults. So we'll leave that as that. I just wanted to address that and show you guys that, yeah, any dye ink from any reseller, anything that's dye is going to fade. There's no such thing as dye ink that can outlast pigment. Absolutely does not exist. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, that is it for now. Let me go ahead and pop this into the computer so I can get it edited and upload it so that you guys can see it. And so please subscribe, share, and like as always. And until the next time, happy printing, everybody. Bye-bye.